Anyway, let's hear from Emma Vigeland, because she always takes it on the chin when TYT comes after her specifically, right? She doesn't really often respond to it. Sometimes the majority report will fire back. Sometimes they'll just be like, you know what, TYT's not worth it. They're hysterical. I'll wait until one of us appears on a show like The Vanguard, and then I'll use the opportunity to fire back. But when Anna came for Francesca, Emma Vigeland said, fuck you. I am coming for you. You can say whatever stupid shit you want about me, but you're not coming for the other strong women in progressive media. And I have to say, it was commendable.
Yeah, let's take a look at this, guys, on Twitter. Let's, in case anyone forgot, revisit this moment from a pretty recent TYT live stream. I think this might have been the same one.
Yeah, it was the same one.
The likes. I know that Francesca Fiorentini is currently attacking you about this as if Donald Trump is unique. He's novel compared to past presidents, certainly a special kind of evil that we've never seen before. In her mind, these are the gulags that she was warning about. But in fact, this has been a long-standing practice. You can be against that practice, but Donald Trump isn't doing anything new here.
Yeah, so I'm going to address it. I think that the clip that Francesca's using is misleading and totally out of context, but that's okay. But I know that—
No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. That dishonesty is not okay.
Yeah,
but continue. Go ahead.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't mean to
but she's getting the likes that she wants, right? Otherwise, I mean, who would pay attention to anything she's doing if she's not attacking TYT? But anyway, continue, Cenk.
Yeah,
which is also hilarious because Francesca, I don't think, has even made a single video about the subject matter on her actual channel. She's talked about it on the Damage Report, I think, with John Iadarola. We've made content. Other channels have picked up on little moments here or there where she'll mention TYT and kind of expound briefly on her criticisms. But Francesca has not been devoting video after video after video to the Young Turks. Like I said, I don't think she's done any. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's made a single video just being like, my issue with the Young Turks, like Ben Dixon has, for example.
Yeah, I think the only two instances I could think of are, one, when she had Cenk on to confront him to his face, which is exactly what you would ask anybody to do. Just be like, oh, if you are going to have criticisms of me, at least to be willing to sit down and engage with me. She says, of course, I'd love to. I've been begging you to please let me engage with you more publicly so that we can get to the bottom of this, because I want to convince you. I need you to understand you're coming from the wrong perspective here, right? And then the other time was when she had a guest on who had previously left the network, that they both worked out together and they discussed some of the, unfortunate.
But she didn't even turn that into a clip.
Nope. No,
we had to
did
do it. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the only thing. And the other thing that I think is so hilarious, we talked about it yesterday when we did a deep dive. Go ahead and check out our full clip. It's on the main channel if you want to get more context into this particular spat. But I mean, it was totally in context. It's Cenk saying she was crazy to be worried about people being sent to concentration camps. We made that perfectly clear. And the other thing that I think is hysterical is that Anna is out here projecting that nobody wants to work with Francesca unless she's bashing TYT. Meanwhile, she just got picked up by one of the fastest growing progressive news networks, one of the most exciting news networks, Zateo, run by Mehdi Hassan after he exited MSNBC, a network which is thriving as TYT is declining. So the projection and the vitriol, I think Francesca responds to this tweet and calls it Regina George coded. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Oh yeah, it's totally true. And yeah, it's complete projection because Anna, no one wants to listen to you talk. No one wants to listen to your commentary unless you're shitting on the left. You say, oh, people only pay attention to Francesca unless she's shitting on TYT. Not true. But your new role in media, specifically right-wing media, is to get brought on exclusively to shit on the left and to talk about how after you told your story about the homeless man, all the left-wingers attacked you and there was no solidarity, even from the people who claim to care the most about women's rights. Even the people that claim to believe all women, they didn't even care. They didn't even care, Zach. How many times have we heard that bullshit, stupid fucking story repeated? That smear of the left, that smear of the TYT audience repeated over and over and over and over and over again. So much so that has become her sole role in the media space, at least when she gets invited on another network.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, Cenk too, right? He's the guy now. He used to be the attack dog from the left that you would have to give the progressive perspective on an issue like Israel-Palestine. Now he's become the guy that attacks the left from a guy who runs the progressive network. He's literally doing the Dave Rubin, the Jimmy Dore. That's what they've all become. They're circling the drain.
Yep.
But we can get into Emma's response here if you're ready.
Yup.
She says, gotta love the performative piousness of polymarket populace. That really rolls off the tongue. I love an alliteration. Emma, we could tell you went to a fancy liberal arts college. Gotta love the performative piousness of polymarket populace. Coming for an ally and movement partner, Francesca, because she posted Cenk's own words coming from his mouth. Go back to your roots, ranking celebrity camel toes. Get your clicks that way as the rest of us oppose fascism. Boy, I was cackling when I read this. In fact, Gavin, you know how there's no real way to express your emotion sometimes, but since we grew up in the internet age, there's a perfect gift for it. This was me. The immediate aftermath of this. I was like, I don't know what else to caption it, but that was some good shit, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Fire response from Francesca.
From Emma?
From Emma Vigeland, sorry. And then we got one more also. She says we're in the political debate.
Yeah.
We're in the political debate and discourse space, and some folks just can't hack it. Sad to see. Which again is so true, because as she said, Francesca literally posted Cenk's own words. It was not out of context. It was not a smear. There was no dishonesty whatsoever. But Cenk can't even just engage in a simple back and forth on Twitter with a colleague. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? This, is the space of debate and politics. We're supposed to disagree when we disagree. What do you want people to just shut their mouth and self-censor because you gave them an opportunity one time, you fucking asshole? Like, that's not how this should work. If anything, you could turn this into good content. Have a political debate. Have on people that disagree with you. You could actually make this a far more interesting aspect of your show than what you currently do, which is this, bitching and fucking moaning about everyone else who's left the network or who now disagrees with you.
Oh, 100%. We've talked about how Cenk could have had an opportunity to be a big, powerful leader in progressive media. At a time he was, right? But he played his card so poorly. He wanted to go more like cable, more YouTube TV. He overexpanded, and he didn't have enough, clout ability. He basically let the network fall apart, right? And instead of just focusing on a really good main show and rebuilding their reputation that way, he let all of the best talent disappear. He started having Anna Kasparian Skype in more often than not. They no longer had interesting folks with unique points of view to disagree with them. Like, one of the things we talked about is back in the day, Aaron Mate even was going on the Young Turks, right? Like, we have a bunch of criticism of Aaron Mate, but it at least represents a guy that fundamentally does not agree with Cenk that would go in there. You know, I would love to see Kyle Kalinske be brought in to have debates. I would like to see people of all sorts of background. I'd like to see Bhaskar Ankara go in there and have debates with people who represent all of these different ideological factions of the left. David Griscom, I would love to see him in there having conversations, right? Make a panel of people who are interesting. The only thing that I really get nostalgic for, that I feel like I missed out on from TYT because it was kind of falling apart and over by the time I got to following it, was that they used to have really good panel discussions that you can still go back and watch. I remember on Trump's inauguration day, they took the day off, which was really humiliating and a low blow for TYT when they called themselves a news network. So when you type in TYT inauguration day that day for Trump, it showed a 2017 January live stream, and I started watching it, and it was like John Iadarola, and it was Anna Kasparian.
It was really good.
And one thing that you've always mentioned, which is really, stark, especially in contrast with the way that she's describing her feelings now, they all seemed like a happy family. Like, low-key, they seemed like a sitcom crew. Like, everybody seemed like they absolutely loved being at the Young Turks, and now they're miserable, and I feel like it's because they took the money, they basically sacrificed what made them cool to begin with. And now they're just bitter sourpusses, and they want to attack the left because they think that the left failed them by not continuing to make their show bigger and better. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%. I also wanted to quickly throw this on screen. My friend Alex sent me this because I guess he used to be a TYT member, and now he gets emails like this all the time. So this is pretty funny. The digital media landscape is changing rapidly. Everyone is doing their best to evolve with these changes, but some organizations will inevitably be left behind. Last year, TYT tracked 50 media companies as they shut down or had to cut back. TYT is not immune, but we know that we can weather the storm as long as we have support from our members. We know that you used to be one of our members, and we are thankful for the support you have provided us in the past. Unfortunately, 2023 was a rough year for TYT, and we are now coming back to you for help. We are sympathetic to whatever reason you may have had for canceling your membership, but TYT needs you now more than ever. So this one was from the beginning of 2024, but apparently the last year, these have massively ratcheted up. He gets them now all the time. Imagine, Zach, if we start emailing ex-patrons, people that used to support us like 2 or 3 years ago. They're like, hey guys, we're getting really desperate. Can you please resubscribe? Please come back. We literally need you. So I mean, that's a real sign of desperation. That's really humiliating. And like I said, these apparently come through his inbox pretty often.
Yeah, the groveling is insane. Anyways, TYT guys, it's at the end of the road. There is no path forward for them as they are currently established in their current form. There's nowhere for them to go. They can only go downward. So I think that it would be the wisest path for them if they do what Gavin has suggested and I think predicted, which is that Anna just needs to take 8 weeks minimum and get the fuck off the camera. That email would have been illegal in the EU. That's crazy. That's probably true though, just to like scam you into like guilt you into coming back to a service. That's hilarious. This is the groveling that they're willing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Lena Khan, one of the most base things she did was basically made it that so you could cancel subscriptions way easier.
Yeah, as easy as you can sign up.
Yeah, and for the longest time that wasn't the case. I remember even as like a relatively young person who was relatively tech savvy being straight up unable to cancel a couple subscriptions. Like calling endlessly. Like I remember one time I somehow signed up for Roku and was paying like, $9.99 a month. And no matter what I did, no matter how many fucking numbers I called, no matter how many emails I sent, it would not cancel. Eventually I think I figured it out. But I was like, if I had been a 75-year-old man or whatever, like I never would have, I would still be paying that on a monthly basis for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Genesis Health Clubs, one of the worst ever. I remember I just canceled the debit card that was associated with it. And then they sent me a bill in the mail that was going to go to collections for like $800. And then I remember I like protested it with the bank and then I never heard anything about it again. And I never ever. So that was the only way that I got rid of my Genesis Health Club. And now speaking this into the ether, I guarantee you I'm going to get another credit ding in like 5 years where it'll be like Genesis Health Club, $800.
Oh, they've been accruing interest. So now it's going to be like 10,000.
He's going to break my kneecaps. I'm going to be in the hospital with all fucking, in a full body cast being like, please guys, help me out. I don't want to get Jay Leno'd again.
Yeah, they're just going to start extracting it from your account. Hopefully not. No,
like IRS style. Yeah. There was that streamer the other day that was bitching about how they took $500,000 out of his account. Apparently it's because he made $3 million and then didn't file his taxes. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
Bro, I'd be like, thank God I didn't get put in jail.
I know.
Take as much as you want.
I was like, and that's what I was thinking too. I was like, do they just literally not prosecute you if you like are rich enough for them to just be like, no, that's our fucking money, and then they take it out of your bank account?
Sounds kind of chill. That's what they should just do instead of making you file your own taxes. Just be like, we subtracted it from your bank account. We did the filing ourselves.
Did you know that the government already knows how much money everybody owes them?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they could make it way easier for you.
The only reason they don't is because of H&R Block, baby. That's Henry Block, okay? That's the guy that funded the business school I attended for 2 years. They've got a big-ass business school for Henry Block building at University of Missouri, Kansas City. Yep. That dude also owns like half the art in the Nelson.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. It's Kansas City's real G.
I always preferred the Kaufmans, you know what I mean? But whatever. Now, those were my billionaires of Kansas City. Anyway, shout out to you. This
might be true, by the way, at least at the early part of their live stream. I think they were like around 3.5. So shout out to all you guys, all 4K of you tuning in. Shout out to all you guys.